stalwarts, and to seek the blessings of the elders and the seniors out here, Dr. Jha, Dr. Arora sir, and all the respected chairpersons. A very good morning to you. And today I'm going to talk about rejection, desk rejection. So everyone would have faced this particular issue in your life sometime or the other. And this lecture is meant to motivate you not to get bogged down by that rejection and to come up again in life as well as in your publication journey, so that you publish quality articles in indexed high impact journals throughout your life, and this trend of researching and publishing keeps continuing. So that is going to be my entire aim, because failures are stepping stones to success. Next one please. So a desk reject or a desk rejection is when your paper is turned down by a journal even prior to sending out to the reviewers. So this is something which can be very distressing to any author. Even the seasoned authors and writers, they get this kind of a response very often, especially with high impact journals. So this is also known as summary review or pre-review or editorial triage. What do you mean by triage? Triage is something, triage is actually a word which means sorting out. It's a Latin word which means sorting out. So the editor-in-chief or the editorial board members, they are sorting out which are the articles which fall within the scope of that particular journal and that the aims and objectives of that particular journal. So they are the ones who are sorting out all the submissions before sending them out to the reviewers for final approval or rejection or whatever. So, but this is similar to the triage which we do in our hospitals of critically ill or sick patients who come to the emergency and decide, oh, this is a pediatric patient, send him to pediatrics. This is an obstetric patient, send him to the obstetrics or the labor room. This is an elderly patient or a surgical patient, call the surgeon. Or this is a head injury patient, go to the head injury neurosurgeon. So that is what is done in this, and desk rejection can be very disappointing. One must analyze the details in great detail, the reasons in great detail, and not lose the hope. One can always revise the manuscript and submit again or submit to a different journal. Let me be very clear in this, that the percentage of rejections are very high. Nearly 30 to 40% of articles, especially submitted to high impact journals, are rejected. So we need to understand why they are rejected, we need to understand what we can do to prevent the rejection, and we need to understand the third aim is, once they are rejected, what can be done. Next slide please. The main reasons for rejection are, it fails the technical screening, or it doesn't fall within the aims and scope of the journal. This I have already told. And one of the most important reasons is the research topic or the article is of little significance to the journal or to the clinical practice at large. The standard of writing is too low, the grammatical mistakes and English language editing is not taken care of, and there are several missing details. Missing details in the sense, the author details can be missing, the keywords can be missing, the figures can be missing, the photographs may not be labeled, they may not have the proper diagrams or line diagrams or other explanatory things which are required for the journal. Incorrect data tables. For example, you have entered wrong data or the wrong table at the wrong place. Incorrectly formatted references. This was dealt with in the first lecture. The type of referencing. That is very important. Each and every journal follows different types of reference managers and reference styling. For example, most of us will be following the Vancouver styling. But there are certain journals which follow a different style. So we need to stick to that and not do all references for all journals in Vancouver style. So that is what is important. This happened to me also when I was very new in the publication scenario. There was this journal known as Trends in Anesthesia and Critical Care by Elsevier. We had done all the writing and everything and submitted with great hope, oh, we have done a great job, but it was immediately rejected and we just couldn't understand why. I mean, we we have done so much of hard work and we all are like really hopeful, and then we found out that the reason was the reference styling was not Vancouver. So that is why we did not, go into the details of that, and that is why. And of course, we managed to publish it later on, that in the same journal. Next one, please. Now, what do you mean by failed technical screening? This is basically the wrongly formatted files. For example, the font size, the line spacing, the font type, all these may be not as per the journal. The figures are of insufficient resolution and missing information. Now this is a very, very common problem in most of the articles. This I have personally seen in being the reviewer and in the editorial board of several journals. The figures are not clear, they are not labeled, they do not represent what you want to highlight. Sometimes that also occurs, so you need to be very careful on that. The incomplete submissions. For example, you have submitted everything, but the conflict of interest statement you have not submitted. That also happens. Not following the author guidelines properly. One need to read the author guidelines of the individual journal thoroughly before embarking upon the submission process. Native English and official English language are not the same. This happened with me when I was writing Hindi. See, the Hindi which we speak and the Hindi which we write for any particular pressy writing or any particular, let us say, an essay or an article is completely different. The same follows with English. So you need to be very careful about the grammatical errors, the punctuation marks, the kind of language which you are using, and the kind of message you are trying to convey with that particular sentence. So that is very important. Next one, please. Not within the scope of the journal. For example, you are submitting an anesthesia case report, let us say, in a pathology journal. It may not, be within the scope of the journal, but still you may feel that, okay, let me submit. No, that is not going to work. You need to follow what the journal wants. Improper matching of the manuscript in terms of subject's research area, the type of report, the type of research. For example, you may have submitted a case report as a letter to editor. That also will not match, and that will be rejected. The content and the structure should also fit. And the words from the scope of the journal can be included in the title, and it is always better to use the mesh words so that the searching, the online PubMed searching and the editor's work is becoming easier. Next one, please. Insignificant research topic. Now, it so happens that you have something great happening in your mind, but you are not able to express it in the form of a very good title or a good research topic. So this means that you are not able to convey your new message or your great idea in terms of title or in terms of summary or in terms of those research topics which you have selected. And the abstract should give a very high level and compelling summary of the article, whether structured or unstructured, depending upon the type of the article. Next one, please. Low writing standards. This is very common, and sometimes one has to be forgiving regarding this writing standard, because for everyone in this world, English is not the the native language or the language in which they undertake their education. So one has to be a little understanding in this aspect, and you can take the services of an English writing editor or the editorial services of the journal itself to improve upon that particular aspect. This is very important because it can cause distraction of the peer reviewers from the main topic. They will be focusing more on the grammar, they will be focusing more on the punctuation marks rather than on the scientific content, and that may be very irritating and may get the article to be rejected. Next one, please. Again, just a revision of all the summarizing aspects of reasons for manuscript desk rejection. A sloppy copy, this I have already told you. The next one, please. Unclear message, like an ambiguous message. You are not clear in what you want to convey, and the results and your conclusions do not match. It is better to have a clear abstract and a conclusion. Break down your message into smaller chunks and use short sentences. It is better to use short, clear and crisp sentences, and professional language services, next one please, can be used. inconsistency, inaccuracy in the discussion, in the results, in the statistical analysis. You are saying that you are using this particular statistical test, but in the manuscript, the statistical test used is different. This happens. So you need to be very clear and careful about what you want to convey in your article. Repeated checking of the manuscript by all the co-authors. It so happens that only the corresponding author is entrusted with the responsibility of checking the whole manuscript from head to toe, but that should not be the case, because some errors I may be able to point out, but some more errors may be pointed out by the other co-authors, that this particular sentence is not correct, this particular test has not been applied correctly. So that kind of a joint effort is what is required. And you need to, read the author guidelines carefully. Next one, please. Unsuitability. This is a very common problem. A specific set of rules or criteria for the authors are given by the journal, and that is the most important basis of rejection by the editors. And you have to read the guidelines and use the mesh keywords and use the journal finder. If you are not able to understand which journal to submit, you can use the journal finder to understand what journal you want to submit the article to. Next one, please. Unclear impact or novelty. You see, nowadays with so many articles coming up, so many manuscripts being submitted, one needs novelty. Novelty means something which is new. Naya kya hai? What exactly am I saying which is different from others, which will attract the readers to the journal, to the article. So that is what most of the editors and most of the editorial board members are looking for. If I am not able to give that novelty, then my priority in that particular journal goes down. The title should be very appealing. I'll give you a very small example which happened to me for the title. It has to be appealing, catchy and appropriate. I had a case report in which the endotracheal tube was actually cut in between the surgery, and it had to be changed. So I had written a title, Cutting of the Endotracheal Tube, but the article couldn't get accepted. It is a simple thing. I said cutting of the endotracheal tube, very intraoperative cutting of the endotracheal tube, but that I couldn't get. Sir, should I go fast? So that couldn't get accepted, but it was suggested to me by the journal itself, by the journal editor itself, that please change it to not cutting of the tube but stopping the oxygen supply midway during surgery. So we rephrased the sentences, and it made the title very appealing, and everyone was like, oh my god, what will happen? That during surgery, if the patient under anesthesia is losing oxygen supply. So that is what, making the title a little more catchy. Next one, please. So let us see what can be done to avoid desk rejection. Edit or at least proofread your English. This I already told you. Use an active tense rather than a passive tense. Next one, please. Make sure manuscript has a relevant title. Next one, please. Abstract should be concise with essential information mentioned. Do not add references in the abstract. Sometimes a graphical abstract is also considered good. Stick to the word limit. Next one, please. Study to have novel or innovative aspect. It should be new and something good message to be conveyed with a catchy title. Next one, please. Content and structure to fit the journal scope. This I already highlighted. You should have a good and relevant literature review and give the journal what it asks for. And you must attach ethics statement, funding disclosure, acknowledgement apart from other things in the IMRAD style. Next one, please. Clear hypothesis. Sometimes the hypothesis is very, ambiguous. It is not clear what you want to research, what you want to find out. So, up-to-date approach in software and contemporary and relevant research question is what is required, and lacuna in the existing knowledge will guide you to form the correct research question. The next one, please. Clear figure and captions. You must remember that whatever figures you are giving, there should be captions for those figures. Those legends should be properly labeled and mention what exactly it suggests. An appendix or supplementary information can be provided to the editors if required, and please take care of the copyright issues. Next one, please. Comprehensive referencing format, very important, already told. Next one, please. Remedies after desk rejection. What will you do if your article is desk rejected? What will you do? Not to lose hope. First and foremost, not to lose hope. Keep writing, keep publishing. So improve upon the cover letter, follow the journal's advice, treat rejection as your fault and not theirs. Okay, so try to improve upon your manuscript, watch out for what is lacking in that particular article, find another target journal, improvise the aspects of the article and discuss with your co-authors. Next one please. And this is just a summary of the 10 tips to prevent desk rejection. Follow journal domain. Weak or insufficient contribution causes desk rejection. Please do not do that. Pages of academic journal are a valuable commodity. Please respect that and try to improve upon your manuscript. Avoid underdeveloped manuscripts and good language editing skills are important. References are again important. Next one please. Methods and methodology, description equally important. Evaluation, anonymity and formatting very, very important. Next one please. This is one thing which I just wanted to highlight. Some journals, they give rejection with resubmission option. There are a few journals, they are very kind on the researchers like us. They don't, even though they have rejected, they have given this option of resubmission. So that gives a ray of hope to all the authors. We need to work upon it, revise it and then resubmit it as required by the journal. Next one please. And this is a submission checklist for IGCA. I just gave it as a formatting thing for all the articles which will be submitted. Next one. So try and try till you succeed. Okay? Failures should not be the full stops to our progress. Next one please. Thank you and happy publishing. Due to lack of time, I couldn't